There's always that one person who ruins it for the rest of us, right? As Lauren Hammersley, who plays our very own Charmaine on the hit show Virgin River, has recently explained, some fans have taken it way too far by sending the actress death threats simply due to the character she plays. Today we're discussing the traumatic messages Lauren has received, plus 5 other celebrities who have received death messages. Stay with us. Let's get straight into it then. What did Hammersley have to say? As all of us Virgin River fans are gearing up for the 5th season of our favorite Netflix show, Lauren Hammersley has recently been explaining a pretty horrific ordeal she has been subjected to, thanks to the storyline of her character, proving that there are plenty of unstable folks out there who need serious help. Hammersley recently outlined what she had been through after receiving online death threats. Of course, she plays the slightly unstable Charmaine, who, as we know, just lied to Jack about him being the father of her kids. But some fans have failed to separate the character from the actress. Protesting that the character isn't real, Lauren went on to say she's the villain, sort of, in the show. When somebody says Charmaine is horrible, that has nothing to do with me. But when it's, and I haven't seen a lot of this, but when it's Lauren is awful, and you know there's been a couple of you should die on Twitter. In no way should Hammersley be blamed for her character's behavior on a TV show, as first and foremost, it's fiction. But when it's also affecting her mental health, that's when it becomes a serious concern. Lauren added that it doesn't particularly bother her if people don't like Charmaine, but reveals that when it's personal, it affects you a little. Of course, no one should be subjected to this, so we just hope the person responsible is found and warned. Next up, we're talking Carice van Houten. Carice played the wicked Melisandre on Game of Thrones, the Scarlet Witch who was responsible for one heinous act in particular. An important part of Stannis Baratheon's camp, Melisandre believed that the Lord of Light required a sacrifice in order to bring favorable weather and stop the storm. Melisandre decided that Stannis' daughter, the innocent Princess Shireen, would be that sacrifice in one of the most difficult scenes to watch over the show's entire run. The witch held some serious sway over Stannis, the true heir to the Iron Throne who would stop at nothing, not even the life of his own daughter, to see himself crowned King of the Andals and the First Men and allow his own daughter to be burned alive. Thankfully, Stannis would get his soon after, as Brienne of Tarth took revenge on him for killing his brother Renly. After the episode aired, the Dutch actress received a ton of online hate and even death threats from those delusional fans who had associated Melisandre's actions with that of Carice herself. She explained that for months after the horrific scene, fans gave her tons of abuse online, as they weren't willing to forgive and forget what the character had done. Her redemption came later in the series, after she resuscitated Jon Snow, who had been attacked by his fellow men of the Night's Watch during the mutiny of Castle Black. But of course, it's still worrying that there are people out there who actually thought it was Carice who was responsible. We're talking about Anna Gunn next. Stay with us. Anna played Walter White's long-suffering wife, Skylar White, on the hit AMC show Breaking Bad. The show has been described as one of the greatest ever by multiple outlets in the past, largely due to the performances of people like Anna. Of course, Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul took most of the plaudits, but Gunn and others, such as Dean Norris, who played Hank, have also been commended for their roles. However, some people didn't like Gunn's Skylar, who has described the character as ungrateful at best and vindictive at worst. Some fans appear to have been against her from the very first season, as she comes across as a strong woman who has no problem standing up to her criminal husband. Others said that she loved to complain when all Walter was doing was trying to provide for his family. Unfortunately, though, online comments spilled over into Anna's personal life, and some fans became so obsessed with her that they actually threatened her life. I mean, can you imagine how much time you would need to have on your hands to be threatening actors and actresses online? The comments became so bad that the show's creator, Vince Gilligan, actually had to come out in support of his actress, calling those responsible for the hate misogynist. Plain and simple. Were you guys fans of Breaking Bad? Justin Prentice is coming through next. Stay with us. There have been fewer worse characters on TV in recent years than Prentice's Bryce Walker in 13 Reasons Why. The show follows the aftermath of the suicide of a high school student and what drove her to take her own life, and there were plenty of reasons. 13, in fact. Over the course of the show, it turns out that there are plenty of bad characters, but Bryce is one of the worst. Not only is he a rapist, but he is generally an all-round douchebag, even though he does have some redeeming qualities, such as being loyal to his friends. However, Prentice unfortunately would be tarred with the same brush that his character was on the show, and many fans online would again fail to make the distinction between actor and character. He received lots of hate online, and like everyone else on today's list, that hate also spilled over into threatening messages. At the height of the abuse, people were calling him a rapist when he shared photos of himself as Justin, not Bryce. I mean, being called a rapist when you are simply an actor is nothing short of disgusting. Justin decided to be an adult about the whole thing and not retaliate, choosing to simply ignore the abuse and not engage, which is almost certainly the best move. Did you guys watch 13 Reasons Why? Let us know your favorite character below. We have Enrique Arce up next. Stay with us. Money Heist, or Casa de Papel in Spanish, has been a mega hit for Netflix over the past few years, even more so in Spanish-speaking countries. However, one actor in particular has suffered somewhat because of the character he portrayed on the show. Enrique Arce played the cowardly Arturo Roman, the director of the Royal Mint of Spain, on Casa de Papel, but due to his character's actions and his terrible behavior towards Monica, also known as Stockholm, he has become one of its most hated. Monica is Roman's secretary and mistress, but is also carrying his child. She falls for Denver during the heist, and well, it's safe to say that Roman doesn't take it too well. Since the show aired, the Spanish actor has faced plenty of criticism and verbal attacks, not just online but in the street as well. Some have even threatened his life, which has been brought on by his character Roman, undeniably the most hated on the show. However, much like Prentice, Arce has decided to somewhat revel in his status as a hated figure and just get on with it. I mean, there's no way of changing people's minds at this point, so why not, right? Arce believes that having fun with the hatred he receives is the best way to battle it. I mean, whatever works best for him, right? Have you guys seen Money Heist? And finally, it's Josh McDermitt. American actor and comedian McDermitt appeared in The Walking Dead from seasons 5 to 11 and played the treacherous Eugene Porter, who abandons his group of survivors in favor of the awful Negan. This act of betrayal did absolutely nothing to endear him to fans of the show and actually meant he became the target of some pretty awful online hate speech. The actor, who has also appeared in shows such as Mad Men and Twin Peaks, was deeply affected by the attacks, as hardcore fans of the show took his character's betrayal to heart and decided to take it out on the actor himself. After a ton of hateful messages, which also saw some fans send him death messages, the actor decided the best course of action would be to quit social media altogether. Before he decided to unplug, McDermitt decided to speak directly to fans of the show, whom he reminded how important it was to not confuse what happens on screen with what is actually going on in real life. I mean, if someone needs reminding of that, then it's highly likely they're not stable enough to actually take it on board in the first place. Are you guys fans of The Walking Dead? Let us know your favorite character below. As usual, thanks for dropping by today, and remember to tune in again next time for some more. And why not do us a big favor by liking today's video, whilst also sharing it with friends you think might be interested. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more great content. Bye guys!